Okay, let's dive right into this. Welcome to today's Explainer, where we're taking a really fascinating, structured look at one of the most profound spiritual journeys on the planet, the Hajj pilgrimage. Our guide for this journey is literally called Qadam ba Qadam, which translates to step by step. Let's get started.
Now, looking at the entire route, you're covering several key locations: Mecca, Mina, Muzdalifa, and Arafat. It's a dense, multi-day journey packed with very specific physical movements and spiritual checkpoints. And honestly, it can feel a bit overwhelming at first glance. But don't worry about getting lost in the logistics here. We're going to break this down, literally step by step, so you can easily grasp exactly how this pilgrimage unfolds.
Throughout this entire journey, there's this beautiful recurring anthem, Labbaik Allahumma Labbaik, Labbaik la sharika laka Labbaik, which means, "Here I am, O Allah, here I am." Think of the Talbiyah as the ultimate theme song of Hajj. It really sets this deeply reverent, unified tone for the millions of pilgrims moving through these stages together.
So here is how we'll navigate the explainer today. We've got 5 parts. 1. Preparation and rules. 2. Day 1. Journey to Mina. 3. Day 2. Arafat and Muzdalifa. 4. Day 3. Sacrifice and stoning. And finally, 5. Concluding rituals and Medina. As you'll see, this whole complex process actually has a very logical, manageable flow to it.
All right, starting off with part 1, preparation and essential prayers. To help navigate the absolute myriad of rules, actions are broken down into 3 critical categories. Red denotes a farz, or an absolutely mandatory act. Teal is for wajib, which is obligatory. And green represents sunat, an established tradition. It's a brilliant way to keep pilgrims entirely focused on what absolutely must be done.
The journey officially kicks off by making the intention, or niyyah, for Hajj. The pilgrim enters that state of purity called ihram, and then prays 2 specific rakat. This is so crucial because it perfectly marries the physical action of donning the ihram garments with the exact spiritual prayer required. It makes sure literally nothing is missed right out of the gate.
Moving into the physical movement, let's hit part 2. Day 1, Journey to Mina.
Now, what's really interesting here is just how straightforward Day 1 is compared to the rest of the journey. On the 8th of Dhul Hijjah, pilgrims enter Ihram, travel the few kilometers over to the tent city of Mina, and essentially just settle in. The primary task? Pray all 5 daily prayers there and stay overnight. It's really a day of mental and physical preparation for the intense days that are about to follow.
Which brings us to the pinnacle of the experience, part 3, Day 2, Arafat and Muzdalifa.
Day 2 is where the intense, physical, and spiritual movement really ramps up. Pilgrims pray Fajr in Mina, then travel out to the plains of Arafat, where they have to stay until sunset. And I can't overstate this, standing in Arafat is so fundamental to the pilgrimage that without it, the Hajj is literally considered incomplete. It's a profound day of deep, continuous prayer and reflection, right up until the sun dips below the horizon.
And once that sun sets on Arafat, the mass of pilgrims travel to the open plains of Muzdalifa. This is where they combine their Maghrib and Isha evening prayers. After that, they get to rest under the stars and begin gathering their key tools for the next day, small pebbles. It is essentially a night of resetting and gathering literal and spiritual stones for the next major ritual.
All right, on to part 4. Day 3, sacrifice and stoning. Day 3 is incredibly busy. It consists of 4 massive sequential steps. First up, pilgrims stone the big pillar, or jamara. Step 2 is the qurbani, the animal sacrifice. Third, they shave or trim their hair, which officially exits them from the restrictions of ihram. And finally, step 4, they travel back to Mecca to perform the tawaf ziyarat around the Kaaba.
So remember those pebbles we collected back in Muzdalifa? Well, the absolutely crucial point here is that 49 is the minimum total number of pebbles a pilgrim needs to have collected to complete the stoning rituals across the 3 days.
To put that into perspective, let's look at exactly how that 49 breaks down. On the 10th of Dhul Hijjah, 7 pebbles are thrown, but only at the big pillar. But then, on the 11th and 12th, 7 pebbles are thrown at all 3 pillars, small, middle, and big. That totals 21 pebbles for each of those 2 days. Add them all up and you get exactly 49. It's a highly structured, very precise numeric sequence.
Jumping back to the second step of Day 3 for a second, the qurbani is the obligatory animal sacrifice, and the accepted types are camels, cows, and sheep or goats. Factoring in their respective share portions really simplifies what is honestly a major logistical requirement for the millions of pilgrims performing this act at the exact same time.
Almost there. Let's look at Part 5, Concluding Rituals and Medina Visit.
Over the 11th and 12th of Dhul-Hijjah, the primary physical action is remaining in Mina to complete that stoning of all 3 pillars on each day, like we just talked about. But the ultimate concluding act, the very final step before any pilgrim can depart from Mecca, is performing the farewell tawaf, known as the Wida tawaf. It is this obligatory, deeply moving final goodbye to the sacred sanctuary.
And performing any tawaf safely and correctly requires strict structure. You start precisely at the Hajri Aswad, the black stone. You complete exactly 7 counterclockwise circuits. Afterward, you pray near the Maqam Ibrahim. And finally, you drink from the Zamzam well. It takes what is essentially a massive, complex circular mass movement and anchors it to clear, very manageable checkpoints.
Now, while the core Hajj rituals are technically complete in Mecca, the journey shifts focus for a lot of people to Medina. This phase outlines the deeply respectful guidelines and the specific etiquette required for visiting the Prophet's mosque.
And this brilliantly illustrates how structured this etiquette actually is, reading Darud Sharif during the travel, entering the mosque specifically through Bab-e-Jibril, praying 2 rakat in the revered Riyaz al-Jannah, and offering your salam respectfully at the Roza Mubarak. It ensures that the pilgrim transcends mere geographical movement, maintaining a highly structured, reverent spiritual focus the entire time.
As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a final thought to chew on. As you trace this incredibly precise, multi-day spiritual roadmap, how will mastering the physical steps of this ancient journey transform your inner focus? Because ultimately, when you aren't constantly worrying about the logistics of where to go next, you can fully, completely embrace why you are there. Thanks for walking through this incredible guide with me today. Keep exploring, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.